Agriculture is the greatest industry on the planet, to my great satisfaction. It must be known that agriculture depends on a variety of factors, arguably the most important of which is the soil that your plants are growing out of. Soil is a magic potion of sorts, on a planetary scale made from 4 components. These are organic matter, made primarily from living plants, animals, fungi, and their decomposed counterparts, water, air, and finally, mineral particles, which make up usually a little less than half of the composition of the soil. There are 3 size categories of soil particles. From largest to smallest, these are sand, silt, and finally clay. This handful is a mixture of sand and gravel. Sand particles are between 1/5 of a millimeter and 2 millimeters in diameter. Sand feels rough and coarse to the touch. Because the particles are so large, there is plenty of space between the particles for water, which means it has high drainage rates and it is easy for water to infiltrate inside. It's also easier for plant roots to propagate into sandy soils. The next size category down from sand is silt. Silt particles sit comfortably between the sizes of 1/5 of a millimeter and 1/50th of a millimeter in diameter. Silt particles feel soapy or silky when dry, and muddy when wet. Actually, mud is made of silt primarily. Silt soils are often very fertile, but the next size category down is clay. Now, clay particles are anything smaller than 1/50th of a millimeter in diameter. This soil underneath my feet, as you can see, is clay. As it is cold, the ground is mostly frozen, but you can see that the clay particles are extremely small. Some particles are even too small to see with a microscope. Now, clay, because the particles are so small, it is extremely difficult for water to seep in between the particles. Therefore, wet clay has a very gooey, hard consistency, unlike the runniness of sand or the muddiness of silt. And this is why clay has been used to create pots and even houses for millennia. Now, clay has a very high water retention, low drainage. Sand, high drainage, and low water retention. And silt is rather muddy. A soil that combines all 3 particle sizes is called a loam. Now, loam has a very high potential for fertility because it mixes the characteristics of all 3 types of soil. It has the high drainage of sand, the water retention and cohesiveness of clay, and the muddy, silky consistency of silt. All these factors make loam the ideal candidate for crop growth. I hope I was able to illuminate you on the properties of the different types of soil. May your journey bring you knowledge, balance, and wisdom. And I will send you my next discourse in the following week. Until then,